Hello, everyone, and welcome to the definitive guide to homeschooling and modular learning. I'm Manisha. I'm the CEO and founder of Modulo. I've also been a teacher for 20 years. I've taught over 2,000 children in 3 countries from K through 12th grade. And I've also created several software platforms. I built the first peer-to-peer marketplace for micro schools. I founded schoolclosures.org, which is the largest network of nonprofits and tech companies helping families during school closures. And I've also founded masteryhour.org, which is the fastest growing free tutoring platform for children in K through 12th grade. So let's get started. The definitive guide to homeschooling and modular learning is a guide we've created based on 7 years of research we've been doing in the secular homeschooling community. And it's our attempt to define a certain kind of homeschooling we call modular learning. It's secular, it's mastery based, and it combines both structured time and self directed learning. So in this guide, you can skip to any section that interests you, or you can start at the beginning. In the first part of the guide, we go through homeschooling. What are the benefits? What are some pros and cons? We dive into some really interesting statistics about homeschooling, decentralization, remote work, the kinds of people who are homeschooling. It might be interesting to learn that homeschooling has tripled since pre-pandemic levels, for example. And then we talk about some of the benefits of homeschooling, one-on-one mastery learning, which is talking about why one-on-one tutoring makes a much more efficient way for kids to learn. And then we talk about family involvement in education and why parents are so important in helping educate their child. We also give parents some strategies for teaching in that chapter. Next, we go on to self-directed education and why it's so important to give kids time to direct their own learning, as well as some pitfalls to self-directed learning, such as not creating a good environment for self-directed learning or just letting your child do whatever they want without any consequences. Next up is a really exciting chapter on cognitive diversity, where we'll talk about 9 learning profiles, including profoundly gifted children, autism, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and much more. It's by our colleague and friend, Jade Ann Rivera. Jade is a curriculum and learning designer with an expertise in strength-based education for neurodivergent children, and she is incredible. So definitely check that one out. This homeschool curriculum is my personal favorite chapter. We spent about 5 years poring over secular homeschooling curriculum, testing them out with our own students. We have over 30 different subjects in this guide. All our curriculum is fantastic. It's mastery based. It's really fun and engaging. We've tested it out with all our kids. So you can definitely find the right fit for curriculum here. And then the question on everybody's mind when they hear the word homeschooling, but what about socialization? So in this chapter, we show that homeschooling is in fact highly social. And also we kind of discourage people from comparing homeschooling at home to what socialization is like in homeschooling for socialization in school, because in fact, socialization in school is not always that great. And in fact, homeschooling might be a better environment for it. Next is childcare. In school, we kind of mush together socialization, childcare, and academics, but in modular learning, we really encourage families to separate them out so you can create a flexible childcare plan that works for your family. Then we'll talk about how to hire teachers and caregivers. We have hired a lot of them, and this is a very technical, straightforward guide to showing you exactly how to do it, how you can join different classes in your community to enrich your child's learning, homeschool co-ops, hybrid schools, co-learning centers, you name it. There's so many great options. And then we talk about accountability and support. So when we're thinking about modular learning, rather than taking assessments, we encourage parents to create a framework for experimentation, to set your own goals, to see what's important to you, whether it's academic readiness, developmental milestones, and this chapter will really help get you set up there. And then we have schedules. So what's really fun about modular learning is you can create a flexible schedule for your family. If you want to sleep in till 10 a.m., that's fine. If you want to travel the world with your family, that's fine. And we really encourage every family to set up their own schedule, but we do talk about some patterns we've seen in modular learning, such as 1 to 2 hours a day of one-on-one mastery learning, having a lot of time for self-directed learning, play, and then generally modular learners take a day of the week to do something different. And we have included schedules for every grade, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school. And then what's kind of fun, everybody asks, can I homeschool with a full-time job? Can I homeschool as a single parent? And we have about 13 examples of different kinds of families and how they homeschool. So yes, you can definitely homeschool with a full-time job. Then just going through some more nuts and bolts, how to afford homeschooling. You might be surprised to learn that homeschoolers make the same income as families in regular school. You don't have to be rich, doesn't have to look like having tons of tutors. And actually, homeschooling can be a lot more affordable than school. Back to school supplies are more expensive than ever this year. And homeschooling has a really great culture of resource sharing. So there's a lot of babysitting swaps, skill shares going on that will save you some money. So then we talk about some software and tools, our favorite tools for modular learning, both in-person and online learning. And then, if you really don't want to read this whole guide, we just provided you with a quick checklist for getting started that will make it easy and fun to get going modular learning. Then, last but not least, we have a special treat for you. Best-selling author of Hooked, Nir Eyal, and one of the world's leading data scientists, Rachel Thomas, are going to share their own experiences homeschooling and why they chose modular learning as a path for their kid. Nir has a 14-year-old and Rachel has a 8-year-old. So it really gives you a great different perspective on what homeschooling can look like in practice. So we're really excited to share what we've learned about homeschooling and modular learning for you. If you're a parent, this can give you some tips and best practices for getting started. If you're an investor, you could definitely learn a lot more about this growing trend in education and what it might mean for your investments. And then if you're a policymaker, we think this guide might provide you some inspiration on how we can start moving towards a decentralized education system where more and more children can start taking this really flexible, personalized approach to education. We are really excited to hear what you think about the guide. Please send your feedback. I'm going to be on all day today answering every question you ever had about homeschooling. So please bring it on. And thanks so much for your interest and your time.